All right. Mistakes are expensive. They cost time, which can be unsafe in the working place. So our goal here is to measure twice and cut once. Let me say that again. We're going to measure twice, cut once. I have two different pieces of wood. This is a plank. Imagine maybe a big piece of plywood, and I have more of a piece of lumber. And we're going to show measurements on both of these. So the first, I forgot a tape measure. Okay, so I have my tape measure. Let's say that I want to measure this at 10 centimeters. Can we see that 10 there? I could do this, but when I see that mark later, I don't know where to put my saw blade. Do I put it here? Do I put it in the middle of that? That's confusing because where I put the saw blade is going to be very important to my cut. So instead, I'm going to use something called a crow's foot. So at my 10 centimeter mark, I'm going to make 3 marks. I start at the 10 and go one way, start at the 10 and go the other way, and then I will make 1 mark that indicates which side of that mark my saw blade goes on, because my saw blade has width. So when I cut, I'm going to lose that much material. So I'm saying that I want my saw blade on this side of this line so that it doesn't cut into the piece that I want. Okay, so my goal is to make a line because I'm going to take probably a circular saw and cut along this to make a nice, beautiful line. So in that case, I'm going to make 2 marks. So we'll call this, say this is 13 centimeters from the point one way, the other way, and then mark where my blade goes. Now we'll come down here and do the same thing. 13 centimeters one way, the other way, mark for my blade. And now I have 2 points that are parallel to my edge, and I will carefully make that line. Now I know that this line is parallel to this edge and that my blade goes on this side of the line. Very important. The last thing I want to point out here is that I made sure to mark from the factory edge. This is the smooth edge that I got from the factory, and I didn't go from a different edge that is not a factory edge. Okay, this has clearly been cut by somebody else, and that's going to mess up my measurements. So factory edge, using the crowfoot to make an accurate line.